Hello and welcome to GoFormative number 41. This one is on exponents. This is an actual document that I've given out to students sometime in late February, March. You've seen this all. Um, this is about exponents. I don't pay too much attention to it, except for the fact that it is good to know the rules. So what I have here in front of you is these are all the examples and rules for all the exponents that you're going to see on the following page, okay? Following questions. So if you get to one and you don't know, you can go back and look at how to do it. And it shows you how to do everything. Now, because you're 12 and 13 or 14 or whatever, you're not going to really they don't look at the rules. In a perfect world, you would look right there and go, x to the third, x to the eighth, x to the 11th. I wonder what they did to get 11. They added. Why did they add? And then read what it says right here. To multiply when two bases are the same, write the base and add the exponents. You're like, oh, so if they're both x or they're both y, I can add these. So that's kind of what I'm hoping. It's all there for you. You can go back and look at it anytime. With that said, I'm still going to work some of these for you. I'm not going to work them all, but I will work some of them. So let's just jump right in. Here's a bunch of same base, x to the third times x to the third. Well, what did I just say? If these are the same, then what can these do? Add. So it's 3 plus 3, and that's your answer. I'll let you do all those. You don't need any more help on that. Let's do some of these with negatives in there. It still works the same way. You're going to add because the exponents are the same. So let's do this one. -4 times x to the -6. So the bases are the same, right? That's good. So these get to add. But what is -4 and -6? If I put those together, what does that make? It makes a bigger negative. So the answer to that was going to be -10. X to the -10. Let's do this one right here. X to the -1 times x to the 1. These are the same, right? So we can add these. What's -1 plus 1? 0. So x to the 0 is the answer. If you remember, I did teach this, but 100% is just you have to remember anything to the 0 power in math is 1. So you could put 1 for that answer. Not x to the 1, just 1. So like, 1,000 to the 0 power is 1. Anything to the 0 is 1. You could test that out on your calculator. It always comes out 1. Oh, look at that. Great. Now you can practice. Look at that. What are all those answers? Exactly. So let's practice with some numbers. And I'll show you how to do this. This is actually asking for a certain way for this to look. So I'll do the first couple for you, okay? So 2 squared times 2 to the first. I'm expecting you to add those exponents together and write 2 to the third. Then I'm expecting you to actually figure out what 2 to the third power is. Remember, it looks like this, 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. So that's how I'm expecting you to do those. Let's do the next one. 2 to the third times 2 to the first. I want you to add those, so 2 to the fourth, and then 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16. Okay, play around with that. This is showing you 2 to the fifth times 3 to the fourth, showing you the big answer, 32 times 81, and how it's that, okay? That's a good example. That's like me showing you, right? So you can use that one to help you do the next one right here. Two to the second doesn't go with these ones. It goes with this one. And we can add these ones. So 2 to the second plus times 2 to the second. So 2 plus 2. So we can have 2 to the fourth, right? 2 to the second times 2 to the second, that makes 2 to the fourth. And 3 to the first times 3 to the first, that makes 3 squared. So I'm basically multiplying this one times this one. Well, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16, and 3 times 3 is 9. So the answer for this one is probably going to be that. And then here's a more advanced one. Just keep in mind, you're going to want to combine the things that go together first. So 2 to the power 2 goes with 2 to the third. That's 2 to the fifth because 2 plus 3. Now take away 2. So 2 to the third, and then 4 to the first, 4 to the squared. It's 4 to the third minus 1. So it'll look like this. 2 squared and 4. 2 third, 4 squared times 4 negative 1 times 2 negative 2. So like I said, the ones I put in orange go together. So I want to do those first. Okay. And I'm only, because the bases are the same and they're all multiplying, I get to add together the numbers, 2 plus 3 minus 2. So 2 plus 3 minus 2. Those are the exponents. And that's just 3, right? So the answer for the 2 side is 2 to the third power. The 4 side is 4 to the first and 4 squared. That makes 4 to the third. But then I have to take away one of them. So I have 4 squared. 2 to the third power is 8, 4 squared, 16, and you're just multiplying those together. 128, right? 80, 48, yeah, 128. These ones were just combining. Same exact thing, except for you're not coming up with an answer, you're just combining. I'll do that first one there. X to the fourth, y squared, times y to the fifth, x to the third. So these ones are going to add, and these ones are going to add. So what's x to the fourth and x to the third? X to the seventh. What's y squared and y to the fifth? Y to the seventh. And that's your answer. That's what we're doing. I'll do one more of those. X to the third, y to the negative 2 times y to the 6th, x to the 10th. You're putting those together, you're putting those together. So what's x to the third and x to the 10th make? You're adding 3 and 10. And then what's negative 2 plus 6? You're adding those. That's 4, so it's going to be y to the 4th. And that's your answer. You're putting them together. And why can they be next to each other like that, touching? Because it's, what's it mean when they're touching like that? Times. And we know they're multiplying because of that. So now you know how to do those ones. More of the same on this, except for the difference is they've included 2 coefficients, so I'll try that one. 2x to the third, y to the fourth, and 3x to the fourth, y squared. You are going to multiply 2 times 3 first. That's 6. 6 goes in your answer. Now your x's will add, and your y's will add. And we're done. I'll let you try this next one on your own. It's similar. Same with that one. It's just bigger, as in make sure you're doing 4 times 2 times 3 as your big coefficient. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 3 is 24. So 24 will be at the front of that answer. And then the x's still work the same. There's 1 there, there's 1 there, there's 1 there. You have 3 of them. The y's are 1 there, 1 there. 2 of them, you have 4 of them. So that's how we do that. And then we have some quick math there. You're just doing all the squareds, 3 squared, 4 squared. You're just doing all of them. Again, squared doesn't mean I just want to make sure we're all aware. 3 squared is 3 times 3. which is 9. 4 squared is 4 times 4, which is 16. And then 14 is actually opposite. So you're doing square roots. The square root of a number is basically how, like, for example, you see how I just did 4 squared is 16? Well, then the square root of 16 goes back to 4. Or the square root of 9, can you see what that would go back to? 3. So square root is what number times itself gets us that number. And these are pretty big numbers, so if you need to use a calculator, there's no shame in that game. Just grab a calculator and do your square roots. It's okay. Square root of 81, 9, 10, 11, 12, 9, 8, 5, 6, 13, 14, 7, and 15. So grab your calculator if you need. And that concludes that lesson. The beginning part where it explains how to do all of them, I wanted you to have all those rules right here. We only actually used a few of those rules. We didn't really get into division at all. We just basically did these. That's basically what we just did. I gave you 10 more rules. So if you ever in life need to see this note again, you'll have it on Exponents. You can come back to it. You'll do a lot of more algebra. Here's your zero rule. So I guess we did these and these. So you have a lot more algebra in life, and those algebra, they'll use these again. So keep that in mind. Thanks for watching.